I like to play with my food a bit though, so I'll make sure the two of you get to have some fun together. Are we gonna have a threesome with Vic? It's kinda hot. Warning. This game contains content that might not be suitable for most audiences. Viewers' discretion is advised. Sliding into the soft driver's seat, you listen to the gentle rumble of your car as you let the engine warm up, revving it every so often in an attempt to rush the process. As you sat idly, you noticed something in the passenger seat. From the looks of it, it was your driver's ID. It must have fallen out of your pocket the last time you drove. You quickly leaned over, snatched it up, your eyes scanning over your name before you tucked it away again. The name? Well, it's Lion. Yeah. I really need to watch where I keep this thing. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. The heater slowly began to blow hot air, signaling a warm enough engine. Gently pressing your foot to the pedal, you gently start pulling out onto the road. Your fingers danced over the car radio's buttons, flipping quickly through the channels. It seemed country music was pretty popular around these parts. Sighing, you let your hand drop back down to fidget to the side of the steering wheel as you tried to focus on the slowly disappearing road ahead of you, street signs slowly being obscured by the gradually increasing snowfall. Yeah, the snow is getting ridiculous. Gonna end up stranded at this rate, and I don't know if Jack stocked up beforehand. He seemed a little flighty. You thought for a bit longer about what to do. You hadn't known your soon-to-be roommate long enough, so you had no idea how reliable he would be in this situation. When you picked up the room he wanted at, you weren't prepared for his place to be in the middle of absolute nowhere. Still, you were happy he wasn't asking for a ton of rent, and getting away from the city will be a nice break. You sighed as you decided you would have to make a stop at a store for supplies. It was the only logical solution at this point. Carefully unclipping the glove box, you yanked an old road map out and awkwardly unfolded it in the seat next to you, glancing back and forth from the map to the road. You didn't realize how fast you were going while you were distracted and... You quickly grabbed onto the steering wheel, slowly pumping the brakes as gently as possible as you rolled to a stop on the side of the road. The ice had gotten so bad already, you began to wonder if you would even make it home. Glancing over at the map now that you were safely at a stop, you scanned it for any signs of a store on the way. Your eyes lit up the moment you saw a generic grocery store just up the road on the map. This is where you were heading, you thought, as you steeled yourself and slowly pulled away from the shoulder of the road and back onto the street. Just as you passed through the tunnel of thick trees, you spot a beacon in the distance lighting up the otherwise inky forest. You can't believe your luck that a store would be open this late at night, especially in the middle of nowhere like this. Carefully turning into the parking lot from Slick Road, you pulled into a parking space closest to the door. It looks like there's only 2 cars parked to your side from you. You take note of the dirty, blue pickup truck parked in front. It looks old and well-loved, the paint chipping in many places, and the passenger window has a crack that you're surprised is holding up. Your eyes move down to the rear end and notice a dark, brown stain leaking down from beneath the tailgate. You chalk it up to belonging to a seasoned hunter. Scanning the rest of the parking lot, you notice that the other car is parked off to the side of the building. At the end of the lot, some cheap green sedan with duct tape patching up some very obvious dents, as if it's helping. You rub your arms as the cold chills finally get to you, and you take as your side to stop lingering and get inside. The automatic doors slide open with strained obedience, and you notice the hour sign on the door has been haphazardly scribbled out with a Sharpie. Guess they make their own hours here. Works for you. Well, hey there. I still wonder if I can actually flirt with the cash register. It's a terrible idea, but still. As you walk into the store, you notice it's not much warmer than outside. Disappointing. At least there's no wind. You tighten your coat a bit more around your shoulders and take a look around. It's a pretty normal store. Exactly what you expect for a place that's so out of the way. The aisles looks well stuck enough for you to get everything you need for the next few days. It looks like they even have a toiletry section. The last thing you notice, the bored-looking cashier, who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else, and you can't blame him. He's just as bundled up, even though he looks more than used to this weather than you. He shifts absent-mindedly and you catch a glimpse of his name tag, enough to read that you notice his name is Thicc. You consider what it's short for a moment before he glances up at you with an annoyed look in his eyes before looking back down at his magazine. Hey, it's like George Tourist. If you're just gonna stand there all night, I can give you my job. His curt rudeness catches you off guard and you hesitate to respond. He doesn't really seem like the type to care if you talk back anyway, as you watch him slowly flip through the pages of his magazine. You could talk to him a little more though. I'd be faster to know where things are at the store. Let's talk to Vic some more. I'm definitely gonna flirt with Vic. This guy seemed pretty cantankerous, but maybe he was just bored and overworked. That'd be nice for him to actually talk to someone. You slowly walked over to the counter and stood in front of him, the sun shadow obscuring his reading material, prompting him to actually look at you. A guy just can't read a hustler in peace now, can he? What do you want that's so important? You're starting to think you misjudged his character and that maybe this guy might really just be some butthole. Are you alone here? You work here all alone. Seems kinda dangerous, not to sound like a creep. Oh, you absolutely do. Though I don't expect much from weirdos that come in 20 minutes before closing time. You felt a pang of guilt realizing you came in so close before closing. Normally you would never have done something so inconsiderate, but these weren't exactly normal circumstances. It's whatever. Kinda used to it at this point. Believe it or not, this poopy little store gets a lot of activity in the summer. It's a good tourist location, I guess. I actually hate traveling or going to tourist destinations. I've seen what I need to see, so I'm good. To answer your earlier asinine question, no, not alone, as much as I wish I was. I'm here with the stupid hot butcher in the back. The guy drives me up the wall with his stupid bulging muscles and his dumb ass pretty hair. Yep, tell me all about it. Like Tate is just straight up a thirst trap back there. And a thirst trap he is. He's not even from around here either. He's some moronic redneck who just waltzed right in and was handed a job for being attractive. Really? He's handsome? I didn't say that. You could tell you weren't gonna get any more information about this from here on. Maybe you can ask him something else? Maybe you should just leave this guy alone. How old are you, fam? Can I ask how old you are? Sorry if that's intrusive, but you can't be much older than me, right? Isn't it a little dangerous to work so late? Wow, look at a good Samaritan. You want points for being thoughtful or something? God, this guy is a baby. Don't worry, I can take care of myself. As for the record, I'm a lot older than you. I'm a lot older than the guy in the back too. Wait, what? How old are you? How old's the guy in the back? 35. How old are you? That didn't seem right. The guy in the front looked barely 25. How could it be almost or above 40? From the looks of him, it didn't look like he was going to talk about this topic anymore. Maybe you can ask him something else, or maybe we should leave him alone. Where's the meat department? I would love to have some meat. You figure you might as well ask him where the meat is. It's better than wandering around aimlessly, and you'd be able to leave faster if you knew where everything is. You direct me to the meat department then. I'll be out of here sooner if I knew where it was. Well, I can direct you to my meat department. It's right downstairs. Hey, Vic, now you're talking my language. You're taken back by the sudden crude joke that you weren't quite sure what to say. At least this was the first time you saw this guy crack a smile, even if it was a nasty little smirk. His smile faded as quick as it disappeared, and was already back to frowning dejectedly. What do you think it is? It's in the back like most meat departments and most grocery stores. Oh, so you're saying you got a lot of meat in that trunk, huh? You've been inside a grocery store before, right? If not, I can explain what they are. You see, they're these horrible little prisons that they trap harmless morons like myself for all eternity, so I can deal with idiots like you who don't know where the meat department is. What a wonderful existence, right? Can't you see how happy I am? I can barely contain myself. You were starting to regret talking to him. It would probably be best to leave him alone and finish his shopping. Where's the meat department? Okay, let's leave him alone. You decide it's probably best to leave the poor guy alone. He's clearly got some problems. you don't want to have to deal with. Well, thank you for your time, Vic. Sorry to have disturbed you. Thanks. Oh my god, Vic! You're actually a sweetie! Don't break away! For like talking to me or whatever. You were shocked for a moment by a sudden change of demeanor. He actually didn't look as gruff like this, and you realized maybe he wasn't so bad. Of course. I hope you get a break soon. Name's Lion, by the way. Cool. Is he actually blushing? And with that, he turned on his heel and returned back to his stagnant spot on his counter, immediately thumbing through the well-worn porno mag. Wait, why would he bother with the porno mag? I mean, I'm right here. Like, heck, he could just very well be watching me. I'm the whole freaking, like, splooshy corner. Oh, God, no. You cracked a slight smile at him before heading down to the aisles. You quickly make your way through the labyrinth of aisles. The store is quaint and mostly has off-brand products that you've never heard of before. You grab a stray handbasket that's been left on the floor and start mindlessly tossing things inside. You don't know if you're gonna be snowed in, or if you are, how long you'll be, but it's better safe than sorry. Finally make your way to the end of the aisle. You can see the red glow of fresh meats under a display freezer light. You catch a few glimpses of someone moving back and forth and wonder if that's the butcher. As you approach the butcher counter, you notice the butcher is missing now. You could have sworn you saw someone shifting around back here. You ring the little bell on the countertop. Nothing. Oh well, it's not like you need anything cut for you. Anyway, there's a huge selection of cuts right in front of you. You bend over and study the meats through the cellophane packaging. You'd never seen this meat this fresh before. The marbling is quite unique too, and the bright cherry red color feels as if it's drawing you in. There's so much too. The open freezer is spilling over with packages of different cuts, the names of which has been handwritten on each in sloppy script. You can't imagine that such a small town has this much demand for meat. I mean, I need all this meat. I need more meat. Give me more meat. Like what you see, honey? Oh, frick, yeah, Tate. Oh, I love what I see. You jump at the sudden vocalization and take a step back as you see the visage of a man before you. He's big, real big. You feel intimidated immediately, but can feel your cheek heat up as your eyes drift down to his big, muscular arms. He definitely works out. You also notice all the scars riddling his thick, strong arms. You can't help but wonder where they came from, but you know it'll be rude to just ask. As if reading your mind, the man chimes in. Here, take in the good, sweetheart. Don't be nervous. I know I look big and scary, but I promise you, I'm as gentle as a lamb. Oh, but I don't want you to be gentle. I work outdoors a lot, you see. Get squished up mighty fierce out there. You could tell from the tone of his voice and smoothness of his words that he was the type to call anyone sweetheart or honey, regardless of gender or presentation. The man flexes his biceps to insinuate what he's saying, eliciting you to glance away embarrassed for a moment. You could tell from the glint in his violet eyes that he knew he was flustering you, and he was loving it. Might as well jump straight to the formalities. I'm Tate Frost. You ain't from around here, are you? I think I'd remember a cute little morsel like you. Yeah, I just moved here. You don't really have a reason to lie. He seems nice and he's just trying to make conversation. Quite a stark contrast to Vic up front. I actually just moved here. It's quite a change for me. I haven't really gotten used to the quaintness of all this. I'm Lion, by the way. It's nice to meet you. Heh, cute. If you want, yeah, I could help you get used to the quaintness around here. I know it can be awfully lonely in these woods. Ain't much for miles and all. I could definitely help keep you warm tonight if you wanted, sure. Oh, definitely. I mean, heck, I don't think Jax is gonna keep me warm tonight. I mean, who knows? He might be cute. He might be as feral as I am. I don't know. I don't know what kind of man Jax is. You can feel the blush on your cheeks intensify at his forwardness. Part of you wanted to take up on his offer, and the rational part of you kept you grounded on the fact that this was still a stranger. At least he could just buy you dinner first. So, what's a cute thing like you doing out here so late anyway? You glance behind you towards the door of the store, remembering how bad the snow was getting. I'm just stocking up before the snowstorm. Aren't you worried you get snowed in here or anything? It's coming down pretty hard and the roads won't be safe for long. Nah, I ain't worried. I was planning on sleeping here anyways. Got a ton of work around the store I gotta do. These pigs don't butcher themselves. Tate chuckled to himself, as if that had been a joke. You wondered for a moment if he meant alive or dead pigs were back here. You felt a little silly thinking a grocery store butcher had livestock in the back. Then you realized the other thing he'd said. Wait, you're really planning on staying here all night? What if you get snowed in for longer than just a night? Is that really safe? Yeah, god damn you, kid. How am I ever gonna let you get away? Awful sweet of you to care, honey. I'm a big, strong guy. Ain't no one's messed with me that's been totally left intact. Ain't nothing to concern yourself over, sweetheart. You best be looking after yourself instead. You sure wouldn't want nothing unsightly to befall you. Be a damn right shame messing up that pretty face. Tate's voice dripped with cold yet confident malice that felt as if he was drawing you in, making you more and more curious of just what this man is capable of. You weren't totally sure you wanted to find out, but you couldn't deny he was certainly interesting. In your gut, you could sense something was off, something dangerous, but his confidence and warm voice drew you in. You considered giving him your phone number. That would probably be a mistake. You'd always been a bit cautious, and you're pretty sure this grocery store is the closest one to your new home. It'd be best to get to know him a little better. Maybe chat with him whenever you bought groceries. Yeah. You thinking about something, Masha? You're looking awfully deep in thought. Tate's husky voice snapped you back to reality, and you gathered your thoughts along with the basket of groceries. It was getting late, and you still had 20 minutes to drive back home. So with the ice, it'll probably take 40. Yeah, right. Sorry. Better get going. Totally forgot about the snowstorm and everything, but could I have some meat? I would love some meat. Give me your meat. Meat, Tate, give me your meat! Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, I don't live far from here, and I'd love to maybe get to know you better. What was that thing you said, Shaw? I'm guessing that's like some kind of slang for friend, right? Yeah, my god, you're adorable, you know that. I really could just eat you up. Yes! Nah, honey. Shaw is essentially Cajun for sweetheart for me. Something I could just sink my teeth into. May have been freezing in this grocery store, but you can no longer tell with how hot your body felt. A wave of embarrassment mixed with lascivious shyness surging through your body. This guy was coming on strong, but part of you liked it. You're Cajun. I guess that explains your accent. How long have you been here? You don't seem like the type to move up to New England. It's pretty cold compared to down south and all. Weren't you supposed to be leaving? Can't get enough of me, yeah. I ain't complaining. It's a nice breath of fresh air compared to the upper rich class folks coming in here. Trying to get away from it all, but can't handle nothing less than a fancy-ass timeshare. You guys got Vic. I'm sure you saw how much of a barrel of laughs the guy is. He ain't from around here neither, but he don't like to divulge too much info about it himself, it seems. You chuckled gently under your breath as you listened to Tate banter on. You didn't need to be leaving, but once a few more minutes. Yeah, you guessed right there, little rabbit. I came all the way from down south in the old boot state. Real small town in bumfrick nowhere, Louisiana. Lived with my mom until I was 18. Got my high school sweetheart. Tate's expression and whole demeanor suddenly shifted as his sentence drifted off. You wonder if he brought up a sore subject before he continued as if nothing happened. Well, what's done is done. She's dead. To me, anyway. Besides, I've been having more fun just traveling the country. Ain't been back home in a long time. Never stayed in a place for too long. Got a pretty nice deal on a trader near here that don't ask questions. I've always had a decent good look and all. I'm feeling pretty lucky tonight getting to meet you and all. Oh, come on, Tate. We can make each other happy. I mean, heck, I can give you my meat. You can give me your meat. We can have a meat exchange. Heck, I'm gonna leave meat all over the floor, Tate. Oh, God, yes. You smile up at him and shift your feet slightly. The more you talk with him, the more drawn in you feel. And you know that if you don't stop now, you might just be spending the night here with him. Reaching towards the ample selection of meats, you toss a few of the more reddest cuts you see into your basket. You still can't believe how beautiful all these cuts are, and you're excited to try them for dinner. You open your mouth to bid him farewell, but he cuts you off. Yeah, you best be on the move now. I'll never let you go if you stay any longer. Standing up straight again, you make eye contact with the man you hope to call your friend and lift your basket up for him to see in a gesture of farewell. You turn on your heel and head to the checkout, unable to hide your smile as you leave. As you walk down the aisles, grabbing random necessities, you can't help but think about Tate. He's so mysterious, yet charming, and well, you can't get his physique out of your mind either. You're really hoping something more will come out of this. You aren't exactly looking for a relationship, but who knows where this could lead. You're so preoccupied in your thoughts, you hardly notice that your basket is now totally full, and the last item you grab clatters loudly onto the floor. You curse a little under your breath as you reach down to grab it, a bit embarrassed that you let your mind wander for so long on Tate. I guess that's your sign to leave at least. You make your way up to the register and place your basket on the counter. You glance around the front of the store, but Vic doesn't seem to be anywhere around. Maybe you already took off. Were you really talking to Tate for that long? You walk over to his counter and look around. You notice the magazine he was reading is tossed haphazardly on the floor by a small black stool. Something about this doesn't feel right, and you try to peer towards the back of the store where you last saw Tate. It looks empty. Maybe he went back into the freezer. Hello? Vic? Tate? Ready to check out? Nothing. Something didn't feel right. It felt as though you were being watched, but you know there's only 2 people in the store. That is, if Vic didn't up and leave. You can't shake this nervous feeling and just begin bagging your items yourself. I'm gonna leave my money on the counter, okay? And my phone number in case you need to contact me. If it's not the right amount. You reach over the counter, rip off a little bit of receipt paper and grab a pen, quickly jotting down your info and tossing some money alongside it. You're pretty sure you added up all your groceries and left a little extra just in case. You toss the last of your items into a plastic bag and head to the exit as fast as you can. You're not sure why, but you feel like you need to get out of here. Now. You stand in front of the door, grip your shopping bag lightly. You're not sure why you're nervous, but something in the pit of your stomach is screaming to run. You wave your hand in front of the sensor to no avail. The door doesn't want to open. You remember it was pretty creaky when you came in. Maybe it's just stuck. I hope it's just stuck. Setting your bag down, you try to get a grip on the doors, pushing them in the opposite directions as hard as you can, but the door doesn't budge. You realize it must be locked, but why would it be? You were just talking to Tate. They wouldn't have totally closed the door of you inside, right? You're right, Lion. You whirl around quickly, your eyes greet with a familiar sight as you try to slow your breathing. You were panicking, but you weren't sure why. There was a thick feeling in the air. It almost felt like you were an animal being hunted. Hey now, you're awful jumpy. Something happened. You let out a sigh as you slowly relax a little. You still couldn't shake this weird feeling, but at least Tate was here and his calm demeanor made you feel a bit silly for freaking out. Yeah, you scared me a little. Tch. Yeah, did I now? I feel a little ridiculous about it now. I couldn't find Vic and the doors wouldn't open. I guess I just spooked myself. Without responding, Tate sauntered casually over to the automatic doors, looking them up and down before grabbing the center with both hands and tried to pry them apart. You couldn't tell how hard he was trying, but a guy as big as Tate should be able to tear these doors right off the hinges. You tried for a few more seconds before huffing and walking back over. Well, poop, honey. These things ain't moving, ain't they? Tate seems genuine, but something about it was off, and you couldn't place it. Maybe he didn't want to break them? Guess old Vic got tired of waiting on my butt to clock out, so he took off early. Well, I got a few things that could help in the back. I'll be right back, honey. Before he could interject, Tate was already strolling back towards his section once again. He sat and looked around the store. There were still a few things nagging at you about the situation. Did Vic really take off knowing you were still in the store? His register looked like it was still on too, and you remembered his magazine thrown to the floor. As you sat and wondered, you noticed it was taking Tate an awfully long time to come back. Maybe you should go check on him. That would probably be a good idea. Or should I stay put? I know looking for Tate will lead to a certain scene, which I unfortunately can't show here. So, if you guys do want to see the not safe for work scene, yeah, you're gonna need to check out my Patreon. It's down in the description. Yeah, it's Like, we'll be able to see Tate in his full glory, and goddamn, his meat is just, love his meat. Yeah, let's go look for Tate. It was taking way too long, and we're starting to worry. You glance around the area one more time before heading towards the owls to the freezer. Still no sign of Tate. You hope nothing bad happened to him. There was an eerie feeling you couldn't quite shake. Tate? Where are you? You called out and waited. No response. You're really starting to worry now. You didn't even notice the heavy footsteps behind you over the sound of your own heartbeats. Ah, poor little rabbit. Did you miss me that much? You whipped around to see Tate standing right behind you, his chest almost touching you as he loomed over you. Oh my god, I thought something bad happened to you. You gotta stop sneaking up on me like this. Yeah, sure. You were worried about little old me? Yeah, sweet. You ain't got nothing to worry about, honey. Big Daddy Wolf can protect himself, honey. Tate had moved slightly closer to you, boxed you in against the aisle. It was so close you could smell him. The scent of tobacco smoke and cheap whiskey so strong it made your nose crinkle. There was something else about his smell you couldn't quite place. Something almost metallic. Oh, Lion. You seem mighty on edge. I get it. Story can be quite spooky after hours, huh? He moved his hands to your side, resting them on either side of you against the aisle. Your fight or flight reflexes screaming in your head as the huge man trapped you like an animal. You weren't sure if you should stop it or not. His strong, musky smell combined with your fear was making you lightheaded as you stared into his eyes. Hey now. It's alright. Just relax. Want me to stop? Or, yep, here it is. You guys know what it is. If you guys want to see the scene for yourself, yeah, you're gonna need to check it out on Patreon. We're gonna be skipping ahead. Wait. Why was it so wet? He was wearing at least 2 layers of clothes right now. In your haze, you slowly brought your hand back up. Tate stopped moving and you finally placed where the metallic smell was coming from. Well, ain't that a goddamn mood killer, huh? Leave it to Vic to be a cockblock even now. You started pushing against him to shove him away from you, but he was solid like a wall. Get off me! As you wish, sweetheart. Tate spat the pat name as he said it, something that felt so sweet, feeling rotten and vile to you now as he lifted you up off the aisle before turning around, your limbs flailing in an attempt to get away from him. He kept a firm grip on your thigh as he held you in the aisle, yanking you closer to him and pressing a rough kiss against the side of your face before throwing you hard onto the tile floor. Hot. Well, you weren't supposed to start getting scared until later, but I guess you best start getting scared immediately. Your mind was reeling in confusion as you stared up at him like a frightened deer. Tate hungrily watched you try to catch your bearings, the realization flooding into you. You better start running, rabbit. Tate takes a step towards you, your body floods with adrenaline, quickly lifting you off the cold floor and turning on your heel to dash towards the exit. Run, rabbit! Run! You can hear Tate laughing maniacally behind you as you search for any means of getting out or even protecting yourself. Suddenly, you remember Vic's tool and you race over to grab it before turning to the door. You swing the stool at the glass door as hard as you can. You raise the stool to swing it again, but you feel it get pulled roughly out of your hand from behind you. You ain't getting anywhere swinging like that, little bunny. Whoa! Hot! Before you can react, you whirled around and you start being lifted by the throat by one very strong hand. You tried to dig your nails into his skin, but your blood-soaked gloves impede any damage you might have done. It ain't nice to tease a dog with a piece of meat. Guess I'll have to have my fun with you somewhere else. Ain't that right, you little geepy tease? It's so weird having to censor myself in these. The hand in your throat continues to tighten as your legs swing helplessly below you. I'm gonna savor our time together, sweetheart. Get real slow with ya. I'm gonna take you apart. Piece by piece. And finally, everything went black. Yay, meat freezer! Yay! What happened? My head is killing me. Your eyes slowly adjusted to the dark room surrounding you. Your head felt like it was spinning and you struggled to recall where you were before this. You shiver as you looked at your surroundings. The air around you was freezing, and every breath produced a little steam cloud. You attempt to lift your hand to rub your sore eyes, only to be stuck in place. Looking down, your heart dropped the moment your eyes locked on the tight ropes binding your arms to the old wooden chair, as well as being stripped down to your underwear. Your breathing becomes erratic as you struggle against your bindings. It was no use. They were already cutting into your wrists from how tightly they were tied. I will look around the room. There's no point in yelling for help. Yeah. Take a deep breath if you attempt to calm yourself. Panicking will get you out of the situation. You need to stay rational. You were surrounded by what appeared to be beef carcasses strung around the room on dangerous-looking meat hooks. They look awfully frostbitten. They must have been hanging here for a long time. Then, where did all that meat up front came from? A chill ran up your spine as your mind jumped to the worst explanations. You shook your head to clear your mind of those thoughts and continued to survey the room. There's a big metal door across the room and a chest freezer next to it. You figured the door was locked. Not that would be any help right now. Then your eyes locked onto something tucked under a line of beef carcasses that made your blood run cold. Is that Thicc? Thicc? Oh my god! He's hotter when he's naked! Thicc's body laid bound nearby. You couldn't tell if he was breathing or not, but you could make out a deep red trail of blood that led from his chair that headed to the door. You pulled against your bindings, no longer able to keep your panic down now that you're aware that you were sharing a room with a possible dead body. Suddenly, the sound of a door handle jiggling snapped you to attention. Holding your breath as the door slowly creaked open, the sudden change of lighting burning your eyes as you readjusted. Ah! Bright! Well. Good morning, Sleeping Beauty. Got a good rest? I sure hope so. You're gonna need it for what I have in store for you. Tate gestured with the playing cards in his hands as if to emphasize something, but you weren't sure what before sauntering over to you, slamming the door behind him. We gotta play strip poker? I mean, it wouldn't be any fair if I lose once, like heck, there goes all my clothes. Tate stopped just a few inches away from where you sat, his body looming over you menacingly. I guess I'll stay quiet. You weren't about to talk to the psycho. That's probably what he wanted, and you weren't gonna give in. Turning your head, you broke eye contact, trying your hardest to strengthen your resolve. You ain't gonna talk to me, huh? Showing the big bad wolf how tough you are? Your body was shaking, both out of fear and from the cold. You just hope he'd get bored of you and let you go. Yeah, that's alright, Shaw. I don't know ways to make it talk. Tate walked over to where Thicc lay cold on the floor. You didn't want to look, but couldn't help yourself from staring. He noticed you watching and chuckled lightly as if this was a normal situation. You worry about EpyksLion? Not really. I mean, heck, if he's dead, he's dead. If he's not dead, well, that means we can have 3 people playing strip poker. Which, again, would be fair. Like, heck, we're already in our underwear. Nah, don't mind him. He ain't dead yet or nothing. See? You winced as Tate cruelly kicked the unconscious man to the side. A small groan squeaking out of Thicc from the pain, but not enough to wake up from his blunt trauma-induced sleep. Yeah, still kicking. Yeah, I was starting to worry a little though. I hit him harder than I planned on. Just the heat of the moment, I suppose. Thicc's a tough one though. Didn't expect his whole back to be tatted up when I stripped him. Mighty impressed. Yeah, same. And don't fret or nothing. I ain't touched him on you while you were out, but you can't skin a pig in clothes. Tate was bending down to check Thicc's breathing, his sharp teeth visible through his smile. You want to hide, scream, run, or anything, but you were trapped at this man's total mercy. You could only watch as he trailed his dirty fingertips along Thicc's back, up the gash on the back of his head before he stood tall again to address you. I like to play with my food a bit though, so I'll make sure the 2 of you get to have some fun together. Are we gonna have a threesome with Thicc? It's kinda hot. If you make it that long. So we are having a threesome? He walked back over to you and knelt down to your eye level. His right hand produced a deck of cards that he expertly shuffled. You were taken aback by how quick and nimble his fingers were for how thick and callous they look. So, you gamble? Yeah, I do. You shakily nodded your head. You weren't sure what he was getting at, but you might as well answer honestly. He laughed and clapped his hand against your thigh hard. He seemed rather pleased with your answer as he shuffled through his cards again. Well, hell yeah. They're gonna have a blast with this, sweetheart. I'm sure you're used to gambling for what? Money? Trinkets? Well, this is more fun, see? I ain't got use for money. Got a job for that. I want something else. I want to take something more personal from you. Something we'll remember each other by. Now, don't that sound sweet? He didn't have time to register exactly what he was getting at before he was holding up 3 evenly spaced cards in front of you. Rules are simple. Just pick my favorite card out of these 3 and you win. Simple as that. Wait! What's your favorite card? Yeah, you'll know if you picked it now, won't you? Ah, frick! I don't know. First one. The left card. Tate looked back and forth from the card to you, his eyes lighting up as he flipped the card around. Did I get it right? Is it right? Am I right? The ace of spades, huh? Yeah, that's too bad, Shaw. This ain't my favorite card. Am I dead? Never been much of an ace guy. Too predictable. Every wannabe card shark says the ace are their card. Am I screwed? Nah, hey, Shaw, don't look down and out. It's only the first round. I'll go nice and slow. Tate moved closer to you, his hand pressing firmly against your thighs for leverage as he leaned down to hover over your hand. You snapped your eyes shut. You had no idea what it was going to do to you, but you did want to see it. You held your breath and waited for the inevitable pain that was surely to come. Instead of pain, you felt something soft and warm grazing your knuckle. You felt your face flush as you slowly opened your eyes to look at Tate. He was slowly running his tongue against each of your fingers until he reached your pinky, taking extra care to lick each joint. The blush painting your face grew deeper as you felt where the man's hand was going, his fingers creeping their way up your inner thigh and squeezing it gently. You knew you should be enjoying this, but you couldn't help but feel the warmth building in your core as he took care in massaging your leg. Is he gonna eat my finger? Are you gonna nom my finger? What are you gonna do to my finger, Tate? What are you doing? Oh God! Tate suckled gently on the digit, his thick, warm lips running back and forth up your finger. You could feel his teeth grazing against your knuckle as you shivered. It was starting to feel really good. You wanted to give in to him, even though your mind screamed at you about your situation. His mouth moved lower until your entire pinky was inside his mouth. You felt his teeth pushing down a little harder against your knuckle, but your mind was spinning way too fast to process the pressure that was slowly growing. Tate, this is a little hard. The pleasure quickly shifted to pain and panic as he bit down harder, his teeth grinding against your bone. You screamed and tried to yank your hand out of his mouth, only for his teeth to latch on harder until... Oh no! Oh God, I am censoring that! Yeah! Your scream echoed off the cold steel wall surrounding you. Your ears were ringing from the pain and bile that was rising in your throat. You wanted to pass out to escape the pain, but your body wouldn't let as you felt your flesh and bone tearing from your hand. You heard your severed finger hit the ground with bloody splat as Tate spat it out. You didn't want to look at him. Your vision was blurring from the pain and you couldn't regulate your breathing. Yeah, come on now. Stop your crying, line. We ain't even started yet. You could barely register what Tate was saying over the throbbing sound of your own heartbeat in your ears. Every beat sent a shockwave of pain into your missing digit. Time for round 2. Oh, poo! Okay. I don't want to lose my fingy. Is it the middle one? The middle card. Tate looked back and forth from the card to you, his demeanor dropping as he flipped the card around. The King of Hearts? Yeah? Well now, ain't you lucky. But luck only gets you so far, sweetheart, and I don't take kindly to cheaters. Ain't no way you picked right the first try. I was even willing to give you a practice guess to play nice. You just want to cheat, huh? Well, how could I possibly cheat it? I picked at random. I don't want to hear it. I know a cheater when I see one. Ain't no one gets right on the first round. Ain't gonna be a first time. I tell you what, Shaw, I'm a nice man. How about I give you something first? No tricks. You can trust me. Tate moved closer to you, his hand pressing firmly against your thighs for leverage as he leaned down to hover over your hand. You snapped your eyes shut. You had no idea what it was gonna do to you, but you didn't want to see it. You held your breath and waited for the inevitable pain that was surely to come. Instead of pain, you felt something soft and warm grazing your knuckles. You felt your face flush as you slowly opened your eyes to look at Tate. Are you still gonna bite my fingy? What is wrong with you? Why are you eating my fingy? So no matter what, he just eats your finger, and I don't know how to feel about that. I honestly don't know how to feel about that. But anyway, that was the end of Frostbite's demo. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Literally, I think they only like changed up a couple of scenes, and they added what happens in the freezer. I'm actually excited to see what happens in the full game. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day. If you guys want to play the rest of the game, if you guys want to play this game, link to the game will be in the description below. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lionel, signing off. Ciao.